All right, good morning and welcome to this chilly April morning. We are here right in Duluth, Minnesota, and what we're doing today is going to be trolling for some early season salmon, maybe a bonus trout here and there, but our primary focus is coho salmon. So water is very, very cold. 33, 34 degrees. There's still a few icebergs out here. This morning it was 18-degree air temp, so it's cold, but when you can get out here early season like this, you can oftentimes have a great day catching salmon. So we're gonna, as you notice on our boat, no downriggers, no special gear. All we're gonna be using is a gator board and straight mono, and maybe put out a lead core or two. Your salmon are going to be high in the water column just due to the cold temps, so we have some clear water, and yeah, we're just going to be trolling stick baits on mono and throw out a couple lead core rods, but focusing on that top 5 to 10 feet of the water column. So yeah, it's a chilly day, but the cold weather can often mean great fishing. Stick with us, it's going to be a good one.
Oh, fish on. In my hand. There we go. Letting the line back. Just clipping the board on there. Just got smoked. Just set the line back, clipping the board on, and I felt it in my hand just hitting it. Don't even have all the lines out. I love it.
All right.
Setting the lines out and got hit.
You weren't even that far behind the boat.
No.
Smaller guy, but hey, when you can't even get your second or third rod in the water and you have a salmon on, that's a good sign, buddy.
Right.
Smaller coho, maybe, I don't know, 14 inches, but that's what's fun about early season like this is these cohos are grouped up, especially if you can be some of the first boats out here, like you're gonna catch fish.
Yeah, I was literally just putting the board on and I'm like, fish on.
Right behind the boat. That's awesome, man.
There we go.
Look at that. Smaller coho, but
yeah. They've been running small this year, 12 to 14 inches. So we'll take that one for sure.
But I mean, as the early season like this, these fish are pretty young yet, and this time of year, your 14, 15, 16 inches are common. As the summer progresses, these fish will grow to be 17, 18, 19. We'll get a little more girth on them, but that's fun. Yep. Salmon in the boat in April, first fish of the morning. Have lines in the water for a minute, like you can't beat it. Yeah, that's fish. There we go. There we go.
Clear this one?
Yeah, clear that one. Awesome. Not 5 minutes after that first fish, you get another one, but coho salmon are just notorious for schooling up, especially in early season like this. Again, this time of year, it's just nice because it's a simple approach, a simple program, straight monofilament line. Getting these baits down 5, 10 feet is all you need to do. Ice on the line. Fish on. I actually might just hoist them. He's got decent hooks into them. I'll just hoist them. There we go, look at that. Another coho. A little bit smaller of one, but hey, you take what you can get this time of year. This is the Northland Rumble Bee, size 9. Great colors. Dives down a little bit to get to where the cohos are, but get our glove off here and take a look at this guy. But yeah, coho salmon. They're not too big, but they make up for it in their taste. I mean, absolutely delicious on the grill. A little bit smaller on average, but again, that's just kind of how they are this time of year. They'll grow as the summer progresses, but beautiful fish. Throw him in the live well and get back out there. All right, as we get this line reset, we're gonna clip on our planer board. Now, with these smaller size salmon, it's pretty important to use the right size planer board. You know, no matter what brand of board you're using, there's usually a kind of more of a walleye size and kind of a bigger size that you use for bigger trout or muskies. So whether it's a gator board or an offshore or church, like they all have two sizes. I prefer the gator boards. I just love kind of the features of them, the oversized pinch pads, you know, the built-in strike flag indicator, just to name a few. They come standard with lights as well for them. But this is just the regular size gator board. And with these smaller size salmon, they're not gonna peel your board back. You know, a lot of times you're not gonna hear drag peel out. So you just gotta look at kind of where your board is in perspective with your other planer boards out there. So a smaller fish is going to influence this board to drag back a little bit more. If we're using the bigger size planer boards, there's just too much pressure. These things pull, the bigger boards pull hard. You're never going to know that fish is there. So use the right size board for the occasion. Smaller salmon, you know, I prefer kind of the regular size gator board right here. All right, there's one on the outside. Oh yeah, you really got to pay attention and watch those boards. Like again, these fish are not going to rip drag out. So if you have 2 or 3 boards on a side, again, if you're using all the same lures and the same type of line, your boards are going to be in a nice row. When one of those boards starts to drag back, that means you have a fish on. So really keep an eye on your planer boards. And then again, it helps to use the same lures, because when you use the same lures, you're going to have the same amount of pull on your boards, and they're all going to run in a line. And that's how you tell that you have a fish on. And right now, these rumble bees from Northland, the size 9, are working pretty good. Look at all that ice coming off the line. And it's funny, right before this, we graphed a huge school of what I presume are herring and coho down there, and right away we were catching fish. So it's always good to graft bait, because in those schools of herring, there's going to be salmon with them. That's a bigger one.
That's better.
That's a better one. That's probably closer to 17 inches or so. Nice. And again, as you saw, the first couple were on kind of, you know, chartreuse and pink. This is chartreuse and orange. So anything bright colored works really well. These Rumblebee number 9s will get down about 7-8 feet on 12, 14 pound mono. So that's right down where these salmon are, and they can't resist it. That's another nice one for the box. 4 fish in the boat, still early yet. I love it. Fast-paced action out here on Lake Superior in April. That's a beautiful salmon. Inside?
Yeah.
There you go.
Ooh, double, 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 double. Double, boys.
There we go, Muskie. All right.
Got it.
Double trouble. Oh, it is cold, man.
Yes, it is.
That wind is ripped up, but whatever. We're catching fish, huh?
Yep.
And this, a double is not, I'd say a double is almost more common than a single out here early season like this. And I mean, there's times where you'll have 4 or 5 fish on at once. Beauty, on purple.
I just put this color out there too.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
A little purple and pink with some yellow dots on that one.
Yep. And that's one of your own baits,
Yep.
the DB Customs.
Yep, this is a bait I paint here.
And those two are getting down like 5-6 feet. So our Northland baits are getting down 7 or 8. Busker's baits are getting down 5 or 6. But again, we have pretty clear water right now, so I don't think it matters too much.
That's 2 for that one.
That's a better one, huh? Look at that. Doolies.
Double.
I love it, buddy. Nice work, huh?
Yeah. Great morning so far.
Orange. Again, you can never go wrong with bright colors. No matter what it is, bright colors catch coho salmon out here on Lake Superior. Cold air temps, cold water temps, but we're catching fish. That's awesome. There we go on the inside. Again, you just got to watch for these subtle changes in how your planer board's running to be able to tell when these cohos hit. Again, if they're a 5-pound lake trout or a 20-inch coho even, or a chinook, you're gonna know it. But these smaller salmon, it's pretty discreet. Look at all that ice on our line. That's when you know it's early season. I mean, look at that ice. Isn't that crazy? It's cold. It's cold, but if you brave the elements, there's plenty of fish to be caught. So there's salmon around here in the Duluth area. This is kind of the start of the season, and it'll stay good until, you know, late May, early June. And then these fish just kind of transition and progress up the shoreline. That's not a bad one there. Up the shoreline to places like Two Harbors, Silver Bay, Grand Marais. And if you look back on some of our YouTube videos, you'll see us catching these same groups of fish up the shore in July and August. But right now, this time of year, they are right here in Duluth. And yeah, they're numerous, they're hungry, they're aggressive. They're gonna eat your baits. That's like 4 fish for this bait. And again, we're keeping our speeds a little bit slower. You know, a lot of times for salmon, you know, especially in warmer weather, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, we're trying to stay towards 1.9, 2.0, just a little bit slower speeds. You know, give those baits a little slower of a wobble, and it's working pretty well for us. So another nice fish. Let's get him in the box. It's almost like we're ice fishing. The fish is freezing up, but hey, that's what it takes. We'll deal with it. Awesome. That's one inside. Hello, big dog. Doubles busker. And it's fun. This is kind of a bite you can count on every year. It's just like as soon as you can get a boat in the water out here, there's fish to be caught. You've been doing pretty good out here lately too, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's been really good. When you can get out here.
Right.
Got to deal with the skim ice some mornings, but
that's the thing about this too. Yes, it's cold and yes, it's windy, but you don't want like no wind because there's going to be skim ice everywhere and you can't fish. So you do want a little bit of wind because it just keeps that ice out of here.
So much ice on these planer boards.
I know, the flags are just drenched in ice. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
This color, man, with that pink and chartreuse has just been on fire. Here, I can get, you want to get yours?
Yeah, might as well.
There we go. Coho candy, man. Coho candy. If you're looking for a big fight and fish at rib drag, this isn't probably your cup of tea, but if you're looking to get the boat in the water, have kind of that first run of the year on the open water and put a bunch of delicious table fare in the live well, like this is what you want to do, man. Like, how cool is that, huh?
Yeah, great eating fish.
Silvers. Too. Silvers out here in April. Some years you can get out here in March. It's been cold this year, so April's our first time out here. But yeah, I mean, this is just an average day and what you can expect. Lots of fish to be caught, trolling shallow, monofilament line. Just get baits down 5-10 feet, and you're gonna have some action. So let's get these in there and get some more baits in the water and catch another one. So it's a simple approach. I'd say 12 to 14, maybe even 16 or pound test line. I'd say if you want to rig up rods specifically for coho fishing, 12-pound test is probably the best. I use 14, just think, you know, I use these same rods as the season goes on for lake trout and whatnot too. So I like 14-pound test. 20-pound test would work. It's just going to be a thicker diameter, so your lures aren't going to dive as deep. So I'd say 12 or 14, and just straight mono, like a Trilene XL or a Suffix monofilament. You don't need fluorocarbon leaders, nothing like that. So just straight mono, putting these back 100 to 120 feet behind the planer boards, and that's getting baits down, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 feet. So that's really all it is. And for trolling rods, these are the 8'6" St. Croix Icons. You know, pretty much any trolling rod is going to work. I just prefer these Icons. I like the way they fish. They're telescopic. They fit in rod lockers good. They're easy to manage, and you know, if you do hook a big trout, they can handle them as well. But yeah, that's just kind of the simple simple approach, just trolling around. You find pockets of fish. When you get bit, turn around, go back over that spot because there's going to be more to catch. Let's get this back out and see if we can get our 15th coho. Flatline, there we go. Buddy, we've caught quite a few fish today.
Yeah.
In not a very long period of time.
Great morning.
And this flatline right behind the boat's got its fair share as well. So yes, utilize your planer boards, but if you have some wind and some waves like this, throw a rod 30, 40, 50 feet behind the boat and you're gonna catch fish. Not a bad one there. That's number 15. And that's gonna conclude our morning here on Lake Superior. Again, I don't like to continue to target these after we have our limit just because, you know, it's just not that good to catch and release them. So when we got our 15, we're gonna go target some other fish. Luckily, you know, being here in Duluth, you can chase brown trout, you can chase lake trout, maybe even a Chinook salmon or two, but we're gonna leave this pot of cohos alone here and head on over into Wisconsin waters and try to catch something different. But again, this is just another classic, typical day here in, you know, early season. And your definition of early season can change year to year, whether it's March or April or late April like we are in here today. You know, there's always cohos to be caught, plenty of action, and these things make for some delicious table fare. So again, the smaller stick baits like this, get your baits down 5-10 feet, troll around until you find a pot of Coho salmon, and you're going to be in for a good day. So from Busker, Corey, and I, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.